Hey folks, Dr. Mike here. This video is a bit different than what we usually do on this channel, but I promise you'll learn maybe something. Justin Bieber's steroid cycle, what I think he might be taking, granted that I know a few insider things about this young man. Justin Bieber, who is he? The man, the myth, the legend. He's a singer. He's a songwriter. He's a performer. And you know what, folks? He's an icon. But what's really the standout? A lot of folks have been this. Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, the list goes on. Justin Bieber's standout is his physique. Look at that rippling body. Holy crap. What is he doing to get on that Hollywood level? Now, this video is all about how I think he might be engineering his physique to look like this, specifically from a pharmacological perspective. It's just my views. It's for entertainment only. It's not what he's for sure running. It's what I think he might be running. And let's be honest, looking like him, it just doesn't come naturally. I know he's on something, and I think, a really good idea. So let's just cut to the chase. We're going to look at the cycle real quick, flash it on the screen for you, and then we'll break things down. So looking like a 24-week cycle, maybe ends in a big music festival where he's the headliner performer. Got to be in your tip-top shape for that. And it looks like we got a base of 500 mgs per week of test and anthate. Smart choice, Justin. Good idea. Runs the base all the way through. Small critique. It could have curtailed that test towards the end to get a bit of a drier look, but like we're really picking at tiny little details here. Primo starts at 500 per week and goes up to 1,000. Hey, that's a meat and potatoes dose of Primo. Justin is going to be getting a bit bigger. You see what I did there? Masteron starts at 500 mgs at week 9. Smart. Don't hit yourself all in the face with all that stuff at once. Goes up to 1,500 mgs total per week by week 24. Gee whiz, that's going to be a dry physique, folks. Good God. Of course, anyone who's ever tried to look even a little bit better knows that Tren is the Lord of the Rings, ring the unite them all of that whole equation. Starts out at a solid whap to the face, 500 mgs of Tren per week, and works up to 1,500 mgs. Good news is rock stars don't sleep, and 1,500 mgs of Tren means you won't sleep, and you might go insane, but rock stars are already insane. It's like the cycle was tailor-made for his exact lifestyle. Winstrol, we need that dryness, folks. When you're on the stage playing the guitar, I'm not sure I've ever heard Justin Bieber's music. Whatever it is, how he makes his sounds, ostensibly with his mouth, I assume, you got to be dry. Because if people look at you and you're watery, it's just not going to work out. Winstrol brings the dryness. 50 mgs a day to start, nice and easy in week 17. Week 24, we're at 100 mgs a day. Look on the one side, the old family liver is taking one to the dick on that one. On the plus side, you're dry as hell. Nowadays, folks of Justin Bieber's age, I don't even know if they drink. I think they do like Xanax and stuff like that. So, the liver at least doesn't have to compete with rife alcoholism. Of course, Winstrol gets you dry, but it doesn't have that combo of dry and full. And it doesn't get you much meaner. We know that rock performers have to get fucking wild on that stage. Nothing makes you wild like a few mgs of Halo. So Halo testing introduced 4 weeks out, week 21 to 24. That last week's 100 mgs of Halo, again, no sleep at that point and no need for sleep because you're either dead or an ascended god. And I'm pretty sure we know which one Justin Bieber is. Now, all that stuff is havoc on the body. And also, we want to be really lean at the end of this. Joint health, etc., longevity, we could even say. That's where the growth hormone comes in. GH, and Justin only gets the pharma finest, starts at 5 U's, and then once, and we'll talk about this in a sec, the cutting phase starts. The first half of this is a massing phase. The second half is a cutting phase. 5 IUs goes to 10 IUs when you start cutting, because look, this is a top-tier guy. It's not going to be messing around with 2 or 3. We're not at a health clinic here. With Justin Bieber's rock concert, we're doing things for real. 10 IUs all the way through. It helps a little with the sleep, but to be honest, 1,500 mgs of Tren and 100 mgs of Halo, the growth is a small drop in a large pond. Insulin. You don't mass without insulin. Everyone knows this. So 20 IUs all the way up to 30 IUs at week 12 when mass peaks. No insulin for the cut. 30 IUs, again, mild critique while I'm reading this. I have some more in a few. Yeah, it was just not like it's not as much of a business amount of Slin as I would have expected. This guy's doing 50 to 100. Biebs, you're better than this. You could do more Slin. Now, calories, he runs a 500 calorie per day surplus for the first 12 weeks, 500 deficit for the last 12 weeks, which makes him pretty hungry coming into that contest, hungry to make a crowd pleased via his beautiful music. And actually, I take that back because with that much Winstrol and Halo and Tran, the way it affects most people's hunger, probably hunger is not an emotion he'll be experiencing. Now that I think of it, with that much gear, you might not be experiencing human emotions anymore, which, again, if you're a famous rock star, you've kind of had your fill of those. Too many human emotions. You want to become a bit more like a machine. Creatine, ultra important. Nobody does this shit without creatine. 5 grams every day in the morning. You can even dry scoop it. I approve of that message. And if you're serious, and you're in Hollywood, and you're a rock star, you need to be hydrated. Jumping around on the stage, doing practice concerts, lifting weights with your coach, that requires hydration, and everyone knows coconut water is the ultimate hydrating beverage and is consumed intra-workout for every single week of this prep. All right, let's break this down. What do we think about this cycle? Couple of critiques. Some might say, where is the thyroid support? You're on trend for that long, especially into a low-calorie phase, your thyroid may not work anymore. Well, yeah, valid. Where is it? I don't know. Somebody has to talk to Biebs about what the hell he's doing with his life. I would recommend thyroid support, T4, T3 combo running into the peak. I guess he could give a fuck. It works for him. It works for me. Another thing people could say is, well, 5,300 milligrams per week at the top end is a lot of gear. Yeah, so it is. But do you, Mr. Critic, have a Hollywood body? Oh, what's that? You don't. Exactly. Now, other folks might say, isn't this kind of like the cycle of what a 300-pound top-tier Olympia caliber bodybuilder would run? Yes, but measured by Instagram followers, even the Olympia, we got 1 to 5 million. I mean, 5 is the extreme, a few mil. How many IG followers does Biebs have? Yeah, hundreds of millions. Sounds like an appropriate cycle for me. As a matter of fact, ratioed to his Instagram followers, he's running the bare minimum. For his Instagram following, this dose of gear is like low-level TRT. The kind of shit that when you go to your doctor, you get a TRT script, and he's like, oh, here's 50 mgs a test every 2 weeks. And you're like, what the fuck? I'm going to die on this. This is crazy. It's not enough. It's at the very least not enough. That's the real critique. Now, a little truth for you guys, because you are sheeple and you need to wake up. Everyone, every single person in Hollywood, that's right, in the actual city vicinity, is on grams of shit. How do you think you get a body like Justin Bieber's? Oh, healthy food? Fuck up out of here. Yeah, sure, some food is involved, but it's just 90-something% drugs. Now, some might say, real dastardly critics, that Justin's body is kind of more clear evidence of a guy that barely works out, never mind takes gear. Valid point for the uneducated like yourself if you're making that point. Frankly, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm an expert. I got all sorts of PhDs and shit like that. I look at his body and I see a kitchen sink of pharmacological irresponsibility or leveraged Instagram followers kind of underdosing, to be completely honest. Your old heroes are dead. This is not your mom and dad's America. Technically, I think Justin Bieber's Canadian, which makes my point even stronger. Fame isn't earned or cultivated. Fame is injected. And if you don't agree with me, it's okay. Hey, I've been wrong about stuff before, and now you're wrong about it. Now, that's it for Justin Bieber. Next time, let me know in the comments who else you guys want me to profile and make a pretend cycle for. I mean, what I think they're taking. And I'm going to make up a bunch of baseless claims about real human beings, but it's all going to be fun because, hey, this is YouTube land, right? So we're all having a good time. And by the way, in case you are upset or viscerally react to this, this whole video has been a joke. I suppose if that's not clear to you, you have a whole lot of other things in life to figure out. And for the love of God, please don't take any of the shit I listed. And if you're in a country in which this type of stuff is legal, only do it under the supervision of 2 people, an experienced coach and a medical doctor. Otherwise, peace. I'm going on the Bieb cycle, baby.